as I say, probably about 50 years ago, or when John McCain and Jimmy Carter and about 3,000 other people were about 20 years old or so. They decided to they decided that they wanted to just take over the world by any means necessary. It didn't matter. They were just going to. Didn't matter what the laws were. Didn't matter what was right. Didn't matter what was wrong. They were just going to take over. They were probably about 15 years old, 18 years old, 20 years old or so, and they decided that guns and killing were the way to actually get it done, and that laws didn't really matter. Nothing mattered as long. All that mattered is who was alive and who was dead. And so John McCain, Rick Bush, or no, I mean John McCain, about a couple 20-year-old military people, pretty much, or not really military, but about they, and this could have been like 70 years ago. I'm not exactly sure when exactly it started, but basically they knew about me, they heard about me, and pretty much they were going to. And this is another thing that Nixon was saying too. There's probably a video of this with him saying this stuff too. He loved to try and copy me or try and copy my videos or whatever. So really annoying. There's a lot of people that wanted to copy who I was and what I was, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. But basically, I'll just blow my own head off. I don't care. But basically, I'm just doing this as pretty much as public service, basically, or whatever. Doesn't even matter. But anyway, they ran around killing a bunch of people, and then they melted down everything they could get their hands on that looked like it was something that I had made or been a part of or whatever, or looked like they melted down everything old and they destroyed everything old basically. I think the idea was to basically remove everything that was before and then rebuild it. And then I think the whole idea was then I think it was this whole plot to keyed into basically pretending to be me or something like that, which I don't really know. Like I think somebody else actually did work though, I think, or somehow. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's like, it doesn't. I mean, I was what I was, and they did what they did, and I know about it. So it's like, that's why I said when I was like 7 or 8, I saw what they did, and I was like, why am I even here? Why do I even bother doing this? Like, hundreds of galaxies I could be on, and I'm wasting my time with this place. Anyway, so I was like, I'm over it. There's probably 10 or 20 million people dead and a bunch of other really horrible stuff. And I'm like, there is no point in me even being here. They're psychotic. They didn't care how many people they killed or how many people died painful. I mean, they took the thing of it was them or me. Is it them or us? Or them or somebody else? And basically, it was stupid because if they'd waited, they could have. Well, I mean, nicer cars, yeah. But anyway, whatever. They were like the setup. Anyway, whatever. They spent like 20 years just like doing whatever they wanted, and they had their own little thing. Anyway, whatever. It's so annoying and so horrible. It's just like, yeah, they're psycho, and there's no point in even trying to be anything. And Rodney's like, yeah, we're psycho, and I don't even think he knew exactly how psycho was. I mean, whatever. And then they tried to make a push into China, and I'm pretty sure China kicked their butt because my Chinese I mean, my military people were always well trained, and I don't really know. I mean, just because you can shoot a gun doesn't mean you're a proper military officer. And like my military officers had the training of martial arts and firing weapons and also tactics and also like all kinds of things. Later on, after Vietnam, they kind of got their ass kicked a little bit, I think, and then they went back and learned some tactics or something, and then they went back and probably then killed people or whatever, but mostly they were just killing old people. beating old 80-year-old or 60-year-old or 50-year-old men. You're going, how about now? Whack, whack, whack. You're not so tough now. To these people that had repulsed their attacks before, because they're just psychopaths, just like the whole attitude of it's them or us. It's like, them or you what? You want to steal money and you're psychotic and they're not? They're sane and rational people? Okay. You're willing to kill and you're willing to kill women and children and just about anything in your way, and you're only doing it for a car or a house. And they're not? And that's who you are. Like I say, that's who they are. Like I say, what they did, it's like they took it's them or us, so we gotta kill, it's like that was Rodney and other people. Like, I heard everything they said, and I knew about everything and I knew about every single one of their mentalities. It's just the psychotic, and blowing people up and then laughing about it. Like, when you see what they did and who they are, it's like, they're just, it's just like, that I shouldn't even bother maybe making this video, but because, it's just like, they're just going to laugh. They laugh at the videos too, so, whatever. I knew about it all eventually, at the first. And then after a while, I didn't even want to know because it's just so horrible. It's like, I might as well just shoot myself in the head right now. Or just like, they would destroy the whole universe if they could. In fact, they wanted to. Like, they were like, we're 80, so we're just going to blow it all up. And that was their attitude. They were just going to kill everything and everyone, even their children. They didn't care. They were just going to kill everything. As far as they were concerned, they were done with life and done with everything, and they had killed so many, and it was like, well, might as well kill everything. That's JFK, Richard Nixon, Rodney Briley, Rick Bush, and a bunch of other people which are laughing at me. And they're all kind of connected together. Because they're all part of one sick thing, which involves the rape of 6-year-old children, the torture of Chinese. They might say they didn't know, but they basically knew. Or at least they're a part of it. So, guilty by association, they're, one leads to the next. So, just like Hell's Angels had, there were motorcycle, there were these muscle-bound steroid freaks that were supporting JFK and the Hell's Angels, whether they knew it or not. And they were going around strangling women and men and raping people because they could, until they got shot. If you knew about everything, if you really knew about everything, all the killing, all the rape, the 6-year-old kids with this guy like going like this, while this little girl's screaming, stop, no, don't, it hurts. And he's just like pounding her. And she's like a 6-year-old little girl. That's all of them. Hell's Angels is connected. Bathtub methamphetamine that drove people crazy because they didn't want to lock them up in jail or kill them. They figured that just making them brain damaged was just as good. That's Hell's Angels. And the other bike gangs. They are connected in a way. It's all one big group. They're just kind of feeding off of each other. Like I said, that's, the Hells Angels might have manned up and actually gone to prison for a while for what they did. And then, I'll get into this next video.